Race week is finally upon us, so in this video I want to go over some key information for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Pirelli are bringing back some different tyre compounds compared to last year, so we'll see how that might change the strategy and who it could advantage, but we'll also take a look at last year's race pace, tyre wear and car characteristics to see what we can learn. So let's start with what's different about the tyres. If you're not aware, Pirelli actually have 6 different sets of tyres from C1 to C6, with C6 being the softest, and for each race weekend they'll choose 3 and then label them the soft, medium and hard. Last year in Baku we had the C3, 4 and 5 available, whereas this year we've got the 4, 5 and 6, which means the tyres are 1 step softer. Now, what could this mean for tyre strategy? Well, of course it means that this year's hard tyre is actually last year's medium, this year's medium tyre is actually last year's soft. And if we look at the strategies that the different drivers ran last year, we'll see that the tyres were very durable, especially the hard. If we look at Gasly here, actually did his entire race pretty much on one hard tyre. He did from laps 1 to 50 on that single tyre, only switching to a soft at the end to comply with regulations. But if we look at the medium stints, no one ran their medium tyres for too long. We see Leclerc here ran for 16 laps, down here Sainz for 17. But remember that this medium tyre is going to be this year's hard tyre. So could this bring a 2-stop into play? It is possible. Something else we can note from this is how the soft tyre wasn't used as a main tyre in any of the strategies, only at the end for fastest laps or to comply with the regulations. So it'll be very interesting to see how far the teams can push it, since that is now the medium tyre. And we can then continue to look a bit deeper again. These are the fuel adjusted lap times on each tyre from last year. So here we've got the hard tyre, which we've no longer got this year, and here's the medium tyre, which will be the new hard. And if we just compare these to see what impact we could have, we see that the tyre wear on the medium tyre last year came up to about 1/10 of a second a lap of wear in terms of the time lost due to the tyres getting older, whereas that hard last year was only about half that, about 1/2. And this does show that this new hard tyre that we will have this year, which was of course last year's medium, will be susceptible to wear more so than we've seen before, and therefore we could be in for a 2-stop, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, looking at some brief track characteristics, we can see some really important traction zones when the cars get on the power, for example out of turn 1, out of turn 2, also turn 16, where we've seen some also awesome shots of cars sliding onto this massive main straight. And because of this, Pirelli have actually warned about tyre overheating, and to me that plays into McLaren's hands, where we've seen them, especially in qualifying, often able to hold onto their tyres thermally a lot better than other cars. The other thing you'll note from the Pirelli data is that they're showing the rear right tyre as being the highest wearing. Of course, rear tyres because it's a lot of traction zones rather than fast corners, and the rear right because this is an anti-clockwise track. So most of the corners are left-handers, which means all the weight gets shoved onto that tyre under traction. And I also just want to mention that this whole video idea was suggested by someone in our Discord server, so if you want to join the conversation for all things F1 and F1 analysis, then do join the server, the link will be in the description. Finally, if you want to take a look at some of the other data last year, this is from qualifying. We saw the Ferrari was incredible in a straight line, and this helped Leclerc put it on pole. The McLaren less so, but then McLaren, as usual, made it up with mean speed from being more efficient, better downforce. We did also have all the flexi wing and mini DRS stuff going on this time last year, though, as well. Here are your overall car characteristics as well, if you want to look at that. And we can see here also where each team was quickest. So I'll leave you with last year's race pace here up on screen, but if you do want to see more, then do subscribe, as I'll have content coming out on the practice, qualifying and of course race sessions as we get further into this weekend. But that's everything, so thank you very much for watching.